What's up, guys? Les Victory here. NHL Why Lose coming at you with some free picks on today's show of Puck You, along with a recap of what the hell happened in the NHL this weekend. And you know exactly where I'm starting. We are starting with the Toronto Maple Leafs. My God, where do you even start? Where do you start? How do you come and dissect the Toronto Maple Leafs right now? Well, I'm going to do my best version of it, and you guys can figure out everything in between. And we're going to start with the big boys, because that's who you rely on in the playoffs to win games and series is the big boys. Now, they look like a bunch of little crybabies fighting over who spilled the milk last. Okay. Mitch Marner throwing his gloves down like he's in Pee Wee and he just got benched for a shift. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is the fucking NHL playoffs. You're getting paid $8 million or whatever it is to go and play the game. Pick up your gloves. Like, you know how awkward that is when you do something like that? And we've all been there as hockey players. You pissed off, you smash your stick over the boards, or you throw your helmet, and then it's like, oh, fuck. I need my gloves to go play the next shift. I should reach out, pick them up, and like, oh, wow, I feel really stupid now. And that's how Mitch Marner should feel. That whole team should be disgusted with their effort against the Boston Bruins. To give up 2 at home, it's disgusting. What the hell is going on with Austin Matthews? What is wrong with him? Can somebody tell me? He didn't play the third period when your team needs you the most. Like, is it a flu? Is it a hurt ego? Is it you want to end the season on 70 and not 71 because you don't like odd numbers? Like, what the fuck is going on? It's the playoffs. You're down 3-1, and he's questionable to start the next game where they could lose and get eliminated. Why? What's wrong with him? So here's the thing. If Toronto does lose this game, eventually it'll come to light. That doesn't satisfy the Leaf fans. Well, Matthews wasn't healthy, so, we're okay with losing this series. Fuck off, man. So sick and tired of all these Leaf fans whining and crying about the refs. Your team sucks right now. Your team sucks when it matters the most. You got a bunch of children on the fucking bench that aren't working together. John Tavares, John who? Has he even dressed for this series? The fuck has he done? He has been absolutely terrible. For the captain, it's up to him to rally the troops. It's up to him to get everybody on the same page. You get Sheldon Keefe whining in the media about Brad Marchand and he's an elite. That fucking shut up, man. Go focus on the fucking game. It made me laugh because when Matthews was trying to get 70 in the regular season, Sheldon Keefe said it was a distraction. And, I don't really care about this game. I'm watching video of Boston in between. What the fuck are you talking about? Which video? The one, 8 years ago when Boston came back and whooped Toronto's ass to win that series? What are you talking about? Why is this team so dramatic? You don't see Florida being dramatic. You don't see Tampa being dramatic. You got fucking Sergachev that just had his right leg, whatever, completely sideways in February, and the guy dressed and skated. So tell me, please tell me what is wrong with Austin Matthews. And Willie Nylander misses the first 3 games. Like, what is wrong with these guys? Are these guys just soft? Or do they legitimately are hurt? Or, are they just looking to get a better tea time at Pebble Beach? what is going on? And we'll never know. We'll never know. I'm not in the locker room. Here's the thing. If they lose this game tomorrow, is Sheldon Keefe's neck getting cut? Is he going to be the end of the Toronto Maple Leafs? Is his coaching career going to end in Leaf Nation? What else are you going to do? What else are you going to do? What happens to the Toronto Maple Leafs organization if they do lose this game? They lose in 5 to Boston for another first-round exit. You can't change anything. You got guys locked in long-term. I don't know all their contracts. Do you trade all your defensemen and start over? Get rid of Riley? He's been brutal too. He's been absolutely nowhere to be found. Whatever you think, here's the problem I have. Whatever you think you have figured out as a coaching staff, and you try it over and over and over again, it's not working. It's time to change. Something needs to change before it's too late. And I'll keep sending out Samsonov. Is he the reason why they're losing this series? No, I don't think so. But you have to make a change. Shuffle the lines up. Get outside that box. You have to. And the Leafs just haven't done that. And I am so thankful that I'm not a Leaf fan because, man, I've run out of words because it's just such a poor effort from so many superstars. Willie Nylander on the bench. It's not fucking junior hockey anymore there, Mitchie. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? It is the most entertaining part of watching the Leafs is watching them on the fucking bench because you swear that they are on a 35-game losing streak. People were threatening their lives. Like, it's just the deadest bench you have ever seen. Are they a fish out of the water this game? I don't know. But from a NHL handicapper perspective, I know I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to stay the fuck away because it's just, you have to feel like Toronto has to win this game. Well, of course they have to win, but should win this game. But this is the biggest curveball Toronto Maple Leafs team that has showed up all season. So from a capping perspective, you got to know when to not bet. And this is one of those spots. We might look at some props. I don't know yet for sure, but I can tell you one thing, that we will not be betting that money line game. Sunday night was an interesting game in hockey. We had a really bad beat. Okay, we had Nashville on the card for a 20x bet, and everybody probably already knows what happened here. They're up 3-1. Sissons had a wide open net, shoots, hits the post. Vancouver goes the other way a minute later, whatever. Vancouver scores with about 2:45 left, and then tie it with 8 seconds left, and then win it in overtime a minute into the period. From a handicapping perspective, it feels like, you know what? I still did everything right. It just, the hockey gods said no today. And that's exactly what happened. You look at Vancouver and the little amount of shots that they've had. I think they've had 71 shots in the past, four games now. 71 shots in 4 games. That's less than 20 a game. And they have somehow a 3-1 series lead over Nashville. The Vancouver Canucks, they have a third string goalie in right now. Shilov or Sylov or however you want. The Latvian made his NHL debut. Played a pretty good game. I got to give him some credit. But when you look at the handicapping side of things, you can't expect a lot from a third stringer. Vancouver's not buzzing on the offensive. So, you have to favor Nashville. In Nashville, everything pointed towards Nashville. It just didn't work. It's one of those things. But you know what did work was a couple nights ago, we launched a cherry picker, the first cherry picker of the postseason with Jack Eichel pulling through with the shorthanded goal. And of course, Mr. Clutch, Matthew Tkachuk with the Florida getting the point, $10,000 bet paid really nice. And over the past week, we have been crushing parlays left, right, and center. We've hit a 4-game parlay. We've hit 2-game parlays consistently. We've hit a 3-game parlay. We've hit 2 game. We are up like plus 1,800 just on parlays alone. All right. The money line bets have been very tricky because, like I said, playoffs is a tough game to cap from a money line perspective. So we've done a really good job of thinking outside the box. We've been, we've been betting on the Eichels, the Tkachuks. Zibanejad has been on the card every night, and he has been nothing but money for us. Unfortunately, Hyman didn't get the score sheet last night, and what was a 1-0 affair on the road. What a great game for Skinner. Arguably the best game of his life in the NHL. LA really took control of this game and got a lot of pucks to the net. And I thought Skinner did an excellent job playing. And that's what you need. That's what you need, especially a team like Edmonton, where they're not as deep defensively as you would like them to be. So you know your goalie's going to get tested more often than you might want him to. And that's what happened. He stole that game in LA. And now Edmonton's got a commanding 3-1 lead coming back home. How important is goaltending in the NHL in the postseason, right? LA went to Riddick, which I thought was the right choice. Cam Talbot was not the answer, and he hasn't been the answer the few games that we played in this series. So going to Riddick, I thought he played a great game for being kind of thrown in there when not really expecting to play in the postseason. It really shut down Edmonton, who only scored the 1 power play goal. So with that being said, though, we wanted Hyman. We had Hyman to cash on like 2 different parlays. He's been really good for us for the most part. I think it was just kind of a one-off. I know Edmonton scores less on the road than they do at home. So, maybe in hindsight, it was a poor choice to go with that. Obviously, the big guys are all plus 1.5 points, and we all know that I don't like taking those bets. So, it just doesn't work sometimes. But, Brad Marchand, he's been huge for us. We're just going to be rolling with the Marchand and the Hyman and Tkachuk and Eichel. All those guys have been a really big impact on their team's performance so far. And, there's money to be made here. So with that being said, pretty good weekend. Really happy how the picks went. We hit that big cherry picker. So here's the thing now. We are running out of big matchups on any given day now. New York's done now, so that series is officially been wrapped up, and the better team won there. I'm fine with the Rangers winning 4 straight against Washington. Ovechkin was nowhere to be found, which I'm a little bit disappointed in that. I was hoping he would get a couple points, and I obviously didn't expect him to win against the Rangers, but I did expect a little bit more of him. That way, the questions don't get asked. Like, oh, is Ovechkin done now? You went 4 games without a point. I think he only had like 2 shots in the whole series. But that's a really good team. The New York Rangers is a really good team. They're really good at defending. Yes, Ovechkin's getting older, but the Rangers really didn't give them a whole lot. So I feel a little bit bad for the guy, but at the same time, they're done. We move on. You squeaked in and you lasted 4 games than the fucking Red Wings would have, and that's the shitty part is I didn't want Washington to get in. I figured the way I saw it was if Washington gets in, they might win 1 or get swept. But if Detroit got in or even Philly, I think it would have been a different series. That's my opinion. But it didn't happen. So whatever, we move on. That's the end of the Caps. Now we only got a couple more days of 4-game lineups because the schedule is going to get thinner as teams wrap up their series going into the second round. So tonight we got 2 games, Florida and Tampa, and Dallas and Vegas, which has very much been a road kind of series so far. Obviously, Vegas went into Dallas and won game 1 and 2. Dallas returns the favor. And I watched the first period and a half. Dallas was just peppering Vegas. I think Dallas had like 18 shots or something crazy in that first period. And luckily for Dallas, for Vegas, that Logan Thompson stood on his head. He played really, really well. I mean, Dallas finished with 46 shots. And there was the 46th shot that won the game to win 3-2 in overtime. So it's nice to see Dallas start to roll. Wyatt Johnston has been a big part of that. He had a couple goals in the last one. We're going to be looking for him on the card a little bit in the future. But the Tampa Florida series is kind of interesting because you got Sergachev that comes back when nobody expected him to. He gets an assist to boot. He gets an assist on the Hagel goal in the second period after breaking both his bones in his leg, which just after returning from a long-term injury. So it's not like he was hurt and came back and played 20 games and then broke. No, it was that fucking game. The next game, his first game back, another major injury. Now this guy has been able to heal them. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he had surgery on them. Heal, get back into shape, start working it, and get back to the NHL level. And when he plays, he is such an impact on that blue line for Tampa Bay that I don't know if this series is over yet. The big boys showed up for Tampa in their last game. Stamkos, Hagel, Sergachev, Kucherov had a couple points. Stamkos had a couple goals. Braden Point, Hedman had 3 apples. The big boys showed up. And when the big boys show up, the good chance of you winning the game, because the big boys on the other side were a little bit more quiet. I mean, we did have Tkachuk to get an assist, and he did cash us for that. But you could just feel like Tampa wanted it a little bit more. So now we go back to Florida for game 5. The series is 3-1. Can the Lightning keep this alive? It's going to be a good game. I'm looking forward to it. And if you want to know what all the best bets that we are putting on the card tonight, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe. Check over the Telegram. Get your day pass for $29 or the rest of the season for $100. I mean, you're going to get that return back in a day or two, almost guaranteed. We've been doing really well. With that being said, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to watching this Leaf game tomorrow. I find this interesting. As of right now, Austin Matthews is not going. So there's got to be something more there. There's got to be something more that suggests that it's not an illness. You're not ill for 2 weeks. Like, come on. What do you got? You got the COVID? You got the coronavirus? Come on, man. Get healthy so we can make this interesting and I don't have to shit all over the Leafs anymore. Jeremy Swayman, he has been great for Boston. I got to tip my cap to him. He's been really good, and he's been a big factor all season for that Boston Bruins team. So just 2 games on the night tonight. Look forward to that card getting released about an hour and a half before the game starts. We got we usually been putting some bonus parlays on it that cash pretty big. We've been hitting like 6 out of 7, 7 out of 9. We're right there. We're getting close on those big ones, but we are hitting the smaller ones. That Canadian bacon parlay is cashing really well, along with that cherry picker. And I'm hoping that we can find another cherry picker spot here this week. I'm not forcing anything. Let's hope that we can do it. If you want all the best bets, make sure you go ahead and smash that like, subscribe button. Head over to Telegram, pick up your package. We will talk to you later.